Welcome to our YouTube channel. Listen and enjoy peaceful night sleep. Tonight we are going to listen a nice and mind-fresh story, Sleeping Beauty, a peaceful night sleep story. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the skies always glowed in soft pastels and the rivers whispered lullabies, there lived a king and a queen. They were kind-hearted rulers, beloved by their people, and their hearts were filled with joy when, after many years of longing, they were blessed with a beautiful baby girl. She had hair like spun gold, cheeks like rose petals, and the softest smile that brought light even to cloudy days. They named her Aurora, meaning the dawn, for she brought light and hope into their world. To celebrate her birth, the royal couple hosted a grand celebration, inviting every noble and magical creature from across the lands. The palace was adorned in silks, lanterns glowed like stars, and the air was filled with gentle music, the kind that made hearts hum and minds drift. Among the guests were the wise fairies who lived in the enchanted forest. Each fairy came bearing a special gift, not of gold or jewels, but of blessings. The first fairy gave Aurora the gift of grace, saying, "May you always move through life with elegance, like the breeze over water." The second fairy gifted her kindness, whispering, "May your heart always see the good in others, and may your compassion light your path." The third fairy was about to offer her gift when a sudden gust of cold wind swept through the hall. The doors flung open. A forgotten fairy, Malva, who had once lived in harmony with the others but had since wandered into solitude, appeared, wrapped in a cloak of shadow and silence. With eyes of sorrow and voice like distant thunder, Malva declared, "You did not invite me to celebrate. So I too shall leave a gift. When Aurora turns 16, she shall prick her finger on a spindle, and fall into an endless sleep." Gasps echoed through the hall. The queen clutched her daughter, and the king stood, trembling but firm. But the third fairy stepped forward. "Though I cannot undo the curse," she said gently, "I can soften it. Aurora shall indeed sleep, but not forever. She will awaken with a kiss of true love, given not by fate, but by choice." The king ordered every spindle in the kingdom to be destroyed. The queen held Aurora every night, singing her songs of hope. And as the years passed, Aurora grew, graceful, kind, curious, and bright, unaware of the shadow that followed her silently. To keep her safe, the fairies took Aurora to a hidden cottage in the forest when she turned 15. There, she lived a simple, joyful life among the trees and streams, far from the worries of the world. The days passed peacefully. Aurora danced with butterflies, sang with birds, and dreamt beneath stars. Each night, she'd lie down under a sky blanketed in stars and listen to the soft rustle of trees, the whispers of night winds, and the hush of forest life slowly drifting to sleep. In those quiet evenings, Aurora would wonder, why did the stars always make her heart feel so full? Why did the wind feel like a whisper of something long forgotten? She didn't know her true story, not yet. But her dreams were always filled with towers, silken halls, and eyes that watched her with love from afar. One afternoon, while chasing a beam of sunlight through the woods, Aurora met a young traveler named Elias. He had wandered into the forest, lost but captivated by the soft laughter he'd heard, Aurora's laughter, like music on the wind. Their meeting was like poetry. No sudden thunder. No instant spark. Just the calm, slow unfolding of curiosity and warmth. They talked. And then again the next day. And the next. Elias told her of kingdoms and oceans, cities and snow-covered mountains. Aurora told him about trees that whispered secrets and streams that sang lullabies. The two grew close, like vines around a tree. And yet, just as spring blooms, so too did the 16th year of Aurora's life arrive. That morning, drawn by something invisible, Aurora wandered to the old cottage's attic, a place she'd never explored. There, in a corner, was a forgotten spindle, left behind, hidden by time and dust. She reached out, and as her finger touched the sharp tip, time seemed to still. A soft sigh escaped her lips, and gently, as if being carried by feathers, Aurora fell into a deep, deep sleep. The fairies, sensing the curse had come to pass, returned to the castle with her and laid her in the tower room, atop a bed of white petals and linen, beneath a window where moonlight forever bathed her in silver. But the enchantment did not end with Aurora. The entire kingdom, bound by love to her heart, slowly fell into sleep. The birds ceased their song, the kitchens cooled, and even the clock slowed to a slumbering pace. The land became still, quiet, and wrapped in time like a book unopened. But love, dear listener, is not so easily bound. Far away, Elias awoke with a feeling deep in his chest, a longing, a knowing. The forest no longer sang. The air was still. Guided by his heart, he followed the silence until he reached the palace, now wrapped in thorn and slumber. With every step, the thorns tried to hold him back, but he remembered her laugh. Her stories. Her eyes when they looked into his. He reached the tower at dawn, the light slowly pouring through the clouds like a promise. There she lay, peaceful, timeless, untouched. Elias approached slowly. He took her hand and knelt beside her. "You are the reason the forest sang," he whispered. "You are the reason I kept walking." He pressed a gentle kiss to her hand. Not out of duty. Not for glory. But for love. And like a soft breeze stirring a field of flowers, Aurora's eyes fluttered open. The spell, so heavy, so long, melted like snow in spring. The kingdom stirred. Birds sang again. Time exhaled and began once more. Aurora looked at Elias, a tear sliding down her cheek. "I dreamed of you," she said. And he smiled, "I've been dreaming of you, too." From that day on, the kingdom rejoiced. But not with trumpets or feasts. No, there was joy in the simple things. The way a flower opened in the morning sun. The way two people could sit together in silence and still speak volumes. Aurora and Elias would often walk in the forest, hand in hand, the way they had before. They still listened to the trees, now knowing that magic didn't live just in spells or slumber, but in every choice, every moment, every quiet breath shared. As the days turned to years, and the years turned to stories, Aurora became known not just for her beauty, but for the peaceful strength she carried. A reminder that even the deepest sleep can be awakened by love, and even the longest silence can be broken by hope. And so, dear listener, as the stars shine above and the wind gently brushes your window, let your heart rest. Let your breath slow. For now, the world sleeps softly around you. And like Aurora, you too are surrounded by love, by dreams, and by the gentle promise that morning always follows night. Close your eyes. Breathe in the stillness. You are safe. You are warm. And sleep, like a gentle spell, is here to carry you peacefully into dreams. Good night.